I thought we could do with a little bit of change in scenery, so here I am. And while we're reviewing acid precipitation and ways to increase the quality of air, let me just introduce to you my plant. So this is my basil plant. If you have basil, this is what it's gonna look like when it starts growing. Now, let's talk about air pollution. Now, we know that there are pollutants all over the world, right? Even in our house. And when industries have pollutants, what happens? What happens to the environment? What happens to the clouds? What happens to the water? Now, that's actually a very good question to start from. When industries have pollutants, or when industries have chemicals that are being dumped into lakes, rivers, or oceans, or seas, what happens? Now, if the chemicals or pollutants contain certain elements like sulfur dioxide, or nitrogen dioxide, or nitrogen oxide, what happens is they actually end up being taken up into our atmosphere when evaporation happens. The part of water cycle, right? And when that happens, precipitation actually results in a very acidic form. So when nitrogen dioxide or sulfur dioxide is taken up by our atmosphere into the clouds, and when it returns to our surface, it becomes very acidic. And that is literally what is known as acid precipitation. Now, if you remember, precipitation is of four types, can be of four types. We have rain, we have hail, we have snow, and we have sleet, right? Now, when we have acidic precipitation, it can actually throw off our ecosystem, because if the rainwater is acidic, it can make our soil acidic. So if the rainwater got collected into the soil, it will become acidic. And when the plant tries to take up water from it, it can have a lot of effects, right? It can hinder the growth of plants. And if there was something else that was dependent on this plant for survival, like maybe insects or snails, then they would die off too, or they would have severe health issues. So acid precipitation is actually very dangerous. It can affect forests, not just plants, but also animals. It can affect aquatic life. So the seas or oceans where the acid precipitation took place, the fishes can die off. So it can actually throw off the whole food chain, right? Now, what can industries do to make sure they are reducing air pollution? Well, first, they can definitely stop dumping their chemical wastes or organic wastes into the sea or ocean or rivers or lakes, right? That is something they can do. Instead, they can actually make sure they're properly disposed of, maybe in landfills or places where they have been designed specifically to contain that type of waste, right? So that's an option. Another option is to maybe plant more trees so that they can take up harmful carbon dioxide or emissions from vehicles. That is something you can do. Now, even as I was sitting here talking to you guys, I heard so many vehicles pass me by. I heard an airplane. I heard so many cars. So every moment, every waking moment, we are contributing to air pollution. So what can we do to change it? Like I said, we can definitely grow plants, but maybe we don't use cars as often. Maybe instead of using cars, we can walk more. Or we can maybe take buses or other forms of public transportation. Of course, it's coronavirus season, so you don't want to do that right now. But if it was not, you might be able to do that. Or maybe just, carpool more often instead of taking your own car every time you have to go outside, right? So these are some options that I have for you guys that you might want to consider to contribute towards lesser air pollution and maintaining the air quality around us. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, please go ahead and read the material that was posted so that you guys feel confident enough before taking the test. All right, guys, bye.